That is right. Oh, yeah. Man, what a crazy, crazy day. I'm going to get some extra lighting going on here. All right, so I have so much cabbage left over from St. Patrick's Day. I mean, like, I'm serious. I think I have 9, maybe 10 full heads of cabbage still left over from St. Patrick's Day. So we're going to make good use of some of it today. Today is going to be an easy, very, very easy episode. Very easy in terms of I'm going to show you everything you need to make the easiest chicken tomato soup. One, the easiest chicken tomato soup you've ever made. And two, it might be, I'm going to toot my horn with this recipe, it might be the best tasting chicken tomato soup you've ever had as well. I mean, not to my own horn, but it's pretty spectacular tasting soup. All right, so, and it's super easy. So this is going to be a very quick live stream. Let me get the conversation started here in case anyone wants to say anything. All right, so first things first is, now I'm going to show you what we got going on here. All right, so this is all the cabbage we need. All the cabbage we need right now. So that is the first ingredient you're going to want to add to your list there. You're going to want to add some cabbage, assuming you don't have a ton left over from St. Patrick's Day as well. All right, so that's all right. So St. Patrick's Day. I don't know what you did St. Patrick's Day, but I cooked and cleaned the entire St. Patrick's Day, and then took breaks to like feed folks and like eat myself. But now I'm back to making what's going to be next on the menu, and this is going to be a single serve bowl just to make things super easy. And I'm actually going to reuse the bowl from the last segment too, because I don't have time to. Dishwasher's not ready to run yet. Not have time to run through all that. So going through. So again, cabbage. Grab some cabbage. All right. So next thing you're going to need on this list. It might be easy just to. I don't know if there's an add all, but first things first is let's actually take a look at the cutting board that I'm using. This is the Cooler Kitchen cutting board. And it's a pretty fun cutting board. What I like about this cutting board is, and I want to make sure you can actually hear me while I'm going here. Yeah, all right, good. So what I like about this cutting board, and people who've watched me use this cutting board have seen me do it a million times, is this right here. Aside from that it's got a nice height to it, which helps, especially for tall folks like me. I don't have to like get my shoulder down there, right? I think one of the challenges I do with the regular countertops, I'm having to go like this. This I kind of like, although when I do have to do this when I get into something that's tough to cut. But we're going to get into my favorite knife as well, and why I don't really have to put a lot of pressure into what I'm cutting, even if it's a whole cabbage head. Although most of this has already been cut down and dealt with already. But what I do like about this is just so cool. It's got a ton of these in here, and this is my only pet peeve about this cutting board. This is not easy to get back in there, but it's great that while one is washing, I can pull off the other one, and it doesn't mess up the wood, because this is a really, really fine wood. I mean, it's bamboo, so I don't want to get it wet. And I'll only clean it maybe with some like oil, I think. I haven't even tried it, but I don't like it getting dirty at all. So, because I'm very, very fond of this cutting board. So again, this is the Cooler Kitchen cutting board, and it is really, really been a bit of a fantastic game changer in terms of my my cooking here. And I actually like that it actually goes with the decor of my kitchen. That might just happen to be my kitchen. I don't know. I actually don't know what other colors this might come in, so you might want to check it out and see if they have anything that's matching. But I've got this color cabinetry in my kitchen, so it kind of as you can kind of see behind me, right? Like, so this goes really well with what I've got going on. All right, so let's actually dive in now and start processing this puppy with the greatest knives in the history of knives. Look, all right, it's already covered in stuff. All right, I'm sorry it's so dirty. It's been nothing but cutting cabbage for hours today. But dude, I want to hold it where I don't cut myself. Look at how beautiful now I never know how to pronounce this brand. Haste. It's probably Hast. But this is just such an awesome knife. Like, I actually display it when I'm not using it. That's how nice of a knife it is. And this handle, I mean, it's just the comfort of the handle, the beauty, and just how the blade handles is just, I mean, it's something else. And I kind of do this rock forward move. I clearly did not go to culinary school, but these are kind of ones that are already done with some beet stains from earlier beet dish. But let's actually now dive in and actually start cutting this cabbage. Shooting cabbage shrapnel everywhere. I may have to do this gently and slowly. Raw cabbage is actually tough to cut through. I don't know if you've ever done it with that, especially without a phone. I don't want to use a smaller knife for this. I have used smaller knives for this, but it just increases the workload like you wouldn't believe. It's that easy. That easy. I've also used this knife, and this knife is great for meat, actually, although I've got a Moon knife that's actually better for processing raw meat. But, I mean, it's just apples. Oh, man. And you're busting into something tough like a cantaloupe or something like that. Like, it's just such a great knife. I mean, I can't say enough. I know I'm plugging this knife, but I legit am in love with this knife. And the more I use it, the more I fall in love with it. And pretty soon I got to take it to the whetstone. I have one behind me, but it's not fun. I'm not a big fan of sharpening knives. It's not exactly a fun activity for me, but I have used this puppy to the point where I think it's time where I give it a good sharpen. And it's also easy to clean compared to my other knives. Easiest knife to clean, and the most beautiful one, and just fantastic. Like, it's just a fantastic chef's knife. All right, so we have got ourselves all set up. That's basically all the cutting we're going to need to do today. So that was the knife, that was the cutting board. And again, just in case you haven't seen it, the cutting board is this is the cutting board. I can't believe I used other cutting boards prior to this cutting board. No joke. I'm not exaggerating by any means. This is the cutting board of cutting boards. All right, so we processed the cabbage. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pop it in this bowl right here. As you can see, it's still got schmutz from the previous episode in it. So why be wasteful? Especially since I just did a cleaning segment and I'm about to redo another one. All right, and I'm crazy enough to weigh these, so I know exactly what we're getting. And I don't want a lot here because we're making a soup. So this is about all we need. So that is 24 grams. This is about all we need, right? Just like less than a handful. And so that comes out to 24 grams of, where's my raw cabbage? Cabbage raw, 24 grams weight. So this much is only 6 calories, 1.4 carbs, 0.3 grams of protein, no fat. This is only 6 calories. Can you imagine, like, you really do all sorts of fun stuff, especially when you see the spices we're going to get into. You can do all sorts of fun stuff with cabbage and eat it all day long, and the calories barely add up. It's pretty amazing. All right, so now we are going to move into, and you're not, this is what makes this soup so great. This right here. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna totally laugh. Oh, first, before we get into that, I gotta show off these pants. Before we get into that, it is still St. Patrick's Day, so I'm wearing green, and the green I'm wearing are these adorable pajama pants. They're super comfortable. They got like this cute camouflage thing going on them, like this dinosaur-y camouflage. I would wear these all day, every day if society let me. Like, I would go to the store in these if society allowed me to walk around like this. So I gotta. These are just great pants. I love them. They're so comfy. I'm at the time of my life, actually. Today's actually been an easier work day simply because I'm wearing these pants, and I'm not gonna take them off. I'm not. These are gonna be my pants. I'm gonna go to sleep in them tonight. And if I'm lucky, there's nothing going on tomorrow, and I'll get to wear them as long as possible tomorrow as well. These are just. I love them. All right. So, anyways, let's go to the ingredient of ingredients, the main ingredients, and yes, it is the Kreider chicken breast can. I know you're like, dude, what is with you and canned stuff today? I'm telling you, I don't always want to process meat all the time, right? Raw meat and cook it up, and who's got the time for that every day or the energy? Now, granted, unlike the canned pork, which I actually like the canned pork better than real pork. Real pork is still real pork, better than cooking up pork. Chicken still comes out better when you cook it. So we got to do some things to the canned pork chicken. Canned chicken's kind of got like it's even though it's soaking in a liquid, it's got a dry. It's more dry somehow. But so we're gonna fix that, and that's why it's great for soup. And soup is the best use of the Kreider chickens. I just like everything about it. It's just not. It's just so easy, and it tastes good, and it's not bad for you. I mean, I just like it. So I'm gonna open up this can. And a lot of times I just kick out the liquid and toss it. But today there's no need for that, because why add the extra ingredient of a box of chicken broth when I have got chicken tasting liquid already in the can? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm only opening it like a quarter way so far because I want to drain some of this liquid. Oh, you know what? I want to weigh it first so we know what's going on, because the liquid does have some chicken shrapnel in there, and I think they count that towards the weight. It's not drained weight. So at least it doesn't say it is. You double check. So it's about 6. It doesn't say drained. So I want to count the liquid in the weight that I'm using here. Seriously, if you haven't tried the Kreiders, I mean, you got to at least give it a shot. I mean, you got to at least try it. I mean, let me know if you got any comments and questions about what we got going on here, but you definitely want to try it. And just my luck, there's some schmaltz, which is the chicken fat, on the lid. Less fat than I need to drain. What I also like about the Kreider is it's automatically in every tracking app. I didn't have to add it. So it's clearly a popular brand. Premium chunk white chicken and water. Energy summary. So and it's in water. It's not in oil. I like it. So I'm going to scoop out some chunks and then add some water later because I want to make sure I have chunks in there. Although I might use the whole can. We'll find out. I mean, look at those chunks. Yeah, I might actually end up using the whole can anyway. Drain out some of the chicken juice. You know what? Let's go ahead and use the whole can. It's the beauty of these cans. Actually, then I can actually match it up with the weight on the grams. 356. Find out if it's drained or not. And then it doesn't matter what the weight is because I can just use the numbers on the can. Okay, it looks like it is counting the water. All right, so that's 358. Let's see if that actually comes out to match the can, which is 314 calories and 50. 8 times 6 is 48. Yeah, pretty much. Now, I am just going to say one whole can. Which is 300 even. I think I'm going to be 14 calories over with an extra 2 grams of protein, but that is totally fine. So one can. There you go. It's just I need to eat more anyway. So we got the can of chicken in there. Now we're going to add one of my favorite ingredients. Now we got the chicken, the water, and the cabbage already here. You'll notice it's going to be a thick soup. You could, if you want a thinner soup, add more water or some seasoned chicken broth. I think it's totally unnecessary. I like a hearty, chunky soup. So we're going to add this. More canned stuff. You're like, dude, you and the cans. Look, I mean, it's just so easy. It's just so easy to get canned goods shipped to your door. And you don't need to worry about it. Like, it's just, life is easier. I mean, I got a freezer full of meat I'd have to process this week, maybe next, like a full of it. And then I'll grind it up, process it, and then refreeze it so I can pull them out in individual bags. But right now, it's a lot more work than any human being should care to do. Contalina! All right, that's very, very inappropriate for me to use that accent. I'm very sorry to the Italian community. Anyways, so this is the best. Because what I like, this paste is my paste of choice, mainly beef. I mean, I do use others out of convenience, but when I have a choice brand, Flavorize, this one's a more robust. It's just more tomatoey. It's hard to explain. All right, so, and we don't need much at all. So I'm like that much. This is like a heaping teaspoon, maybe 2. All right. Come on, get off without me having to touch it. Let's do it. Oh, I had to touch it. I was hoping I didn't have to touch it. There's left on there, so I'm going to add an extra gram. So I'm going to say that's 14 grams. Contadina, where are you? Adding Contadina in the app. $14 grams. It's 13 calories. Let's actually see if this is 2 tablespoons, should be 30. Yeah, this is the right one. All right. So 14 grams at 2 calories, 12 calories, 12.7 calories. And it also has, in case you're tracking this as well, 2.5 grams of carbs and 0.8 grams of protein. If you're counting vegetable protein, I know some people aren't. All right, so now the next step is to, and I'm going to do this like this. And I've learned the hard way many a time to stir slowly so things don't spill out on me. And while I'm doing this, you notice I'm breaking up some of these giant chicken chunks. And then the next step, we're going to start seasoning this. And I'm not going to season it all at once. I'm going to tell you why in a second. Okay, so this is the consistency we wanted, like a nice, thick, chunky, chickeny tomato soup. It's going to be so good. Now, this is 48 grams of protein, so I may actually have to make some sides and eat half this soup and the other half later. A lot of protein in one sitting. All right. So that's what we've got going on here. It's this kind of thickness and chunkiness, and it's got like a nice pink color to it, which we are going to change the color as we start spicing it up. All right, so next step is to start adding our seasoning. Let's see if anyone's got any questions or comments so far. All right, so let's move into our first piece of seasoning right here. And that is the TK Hawaj. So TK Hawaj is like it's sort of like curry powder, and TK stands for totally kosher. So it's like curry powder, but less curry-like. I still want to be careful not to get any of my fingers because that pungent smell will not go anywhere without a good scrubbing. But anyways, that's the TK Hawaj. And let's actually see that it's got turmeric, cumin, coriander, black pepper, cardamom, and cloves, right? And it's just excellent in soup. It's made for soup. I don't need too much. I mean, it's pretty powerful, but it's not as powerful as, let's say, an Indian curry powder. So it's not going to have an overpowering Indian taste. It's just going to give it some depth of flavor that it'll bring itself about to balance out the other spices we're about to put in. All right, so now the next step is, before we put in any other seasoning, is now we heat this up. And this is the microwave I use. And the main reason I like this microwave, aside from the fact that it came with the house, but I never upgraded. The main reason I like this microwave is it's accurate and very easy to use, and that one touch button. So I just hit the one button, and now it's going to cook for a minute. That's all this needs. A minute might be too much on other microwaves. A minute is perfect on this GE. And it might be enough, not enough on certain microwaves. And I'm just kind of going to stir it, and then I'm going to stick it in for another 30 seconds. And that's all we're going to need. That's the beauty of why I'm all into, why I haven't changed this up. I mean, I could swap it out, and then I'd have to swap out the range and everything, but one of the big reasons why I continue to use the Space Maker, I think is you can see it there for the actual, they call it the over the range, the GE over the range microwave. I mean, it was super easy to install. Like, if you're in the process of building a house right now, this combo is what you want to stick in. All right, so that was a minute. If you notice, I stopped before I hear the beat. I don't like the beat. Now it's already steaming. So I just want to now stir in that Hawaj seasoning a little more. I'm just stirring in that Hawaii seasoning a little more. And now you're going to see that the soup is taken on, now that we heat it up, more of a liquidy soup consistency, but still nice and thick and hearty. Still, now it resembles soup. All right, so that's that. Now that was the Hawaii. Which will just really add some aromatics. And I'm going to stick it in for another 30 seconds. And then it's going to be piping hot. And that's actually now what we're going to move on to our next set of ingredients. That would be first things first. This puppy right here. So this puppy right here is the everything but the bagel seasoning, and it saves us a ton of time. A ton of time. It's basically everything we need. Everything we need for this. Everything else is going to be overkill on top of this, actually. So the everything but the bagel seasoning is just already got everything we want put in here. Like it's not going to need anything else. Let me see if you can actually see it come out on top. I don't know if you can actually see. And it's got already a good salt profile. You may want to add a little more depending on how salty you like your food, but the Kreider chicken is pre-salted, so I don't think it is necessary. Although we're now going to move on to our next ingredient. Pick up that everything but the bagel right now before we move on to the next one. That's the key. That's the key to most things, actually. It's just so convenient. Now we're moving on to my favorite thing ever, which is the Masola Sazon. And this stuff, people have heard me say it before, it tastes like if Doritos didn't have the cheese aspect, right? I mean, it just adds like a Dorito-y style flavor, non-cheesy version of a Dorito-y style flavor. And what this really does is it kind of just enhances all the other flavors going on, and it's going to add a little color to the mix there as well. Now, the next puppy that we're about to add is going to add that red color you've all been waiting for. Bam! This is the stuff right there. That is the stuff right there. The Valentina hot sauce. Oh my God. Is that my favorite hot sauce? It's also the easiest sauce to get. Like it should be like everyone's everyday table hot sauce. You get a lot in that bottle. It's just so good. There's a black label one that's actually really hot. This one, the yellow label one, is actually not as spicy by any means. It's just got more of a flavor profile. I mean, it just tastes good. Like it's not vinegary like a Louisiana, nor is it super hot, nor is it smoky like a Cholula. It's just a good hot sauce in terms of being an ingredient. Like it adds a level of flavor that's just needed in most everything. I mean, check it out. I mean, this is 2 weeks old, this bottle. I've used half of it already in 2 weeks. And you're going to see now I'm going to generously put hot sauce in this puppy. Look at that. No couple drops here and there. That is a generous, I mean, it's like a teaspoon and a half of hot sauce, maybe more. So that's the Valentino. You definitely want to pick up this Valentino. This Valentino is something else. I mean, I think for most people, a bottle like this lasts in a year. I think for me, was crazy about this hot sauce. I mean, I burned through this like you wouldn't believe. It's just such a good, daily hot sauce. I mean, it just goes on everything. I mean, I even toss it when I stick things in the air fryer. I even toss it over it, and it makes like a baked on red flavored crust. Oh my gosh, on asparagus, papaya, on fish. Oh wow, like on a white fish. Like this is just like I'm all about. I'm just all about this hot sauce and this combo with the masola sazon and the everything but the bagel seasoning, and then the aromatics from that TK. That combo adds a depth of flavor that you're not going to believe me until you try it, right? Like it's just like multiple flavors will be going through it. It's literally like every bite, and this is going to sound crazy. This is going to sound ridiculous, but listen, every bite is almost like some sort of flavor journey. I know this sounds so corny, but with that combo that we just did, is it's gonna flavors are gonna morph and then come and go in your mouth in a way that this is just going to be the most awesome tomato soup you've ever had. All right, so that is the Valentina hot sauce. And I think we might have done a good job. I think the only thing left for us to do is mix it up and eat it. We missing anything? We're not missing anything. All right, so we're going to mix this up and we're going to eat it. And I'll definitely let me know. Let me know if any questions or comments are coming up about any of this, because pretty soon, we are going to actually sign off. But before we do, let's actually mix this puppy up. And as usual, I don't like to mix things so they're evenly homogenized. Is that chicken? Because I like each bite to be slightly different. So I just want to mix it up so it looks good. Oh my God, the smell of this. The smell coming off this soup. You're going to lose it when you taste the soup. Like, you're going to actually, like, send me letters of gratitude. Again, not to my... Like, you are going to lose it when you taste how good this soup is. It was so easy, right? That was super easy. All right, so I'm going to smell it. That's incredible. It's incredible. Like it's insanely incredible. You're not gonna believe me until you try it. All right, I'm gonna take a bite of this. I think it's ready to go. Still hot. Good Googa Mooga. It is insanely good soup. Like, I'm not joking. Like, you could have soup in a Michelin star restaurant and it's gonna taste like nothing compared to this soup. I'm telling you, seriously, you gotta try it. I don't know if you're able to add to cart on everything I just said and just pick things up, or just take notes and give this a shot. I am curious. I do want to hear if you know how yours turned out, and I do want to hear how like if you've changed things up. Slight crunch from the cabbage. It's crazy how good this is. It's crazy how good that is. All right. So there you have it. I'm going to sign off and I'm going to eat at least half of that. And then that's it. I'm too busy eating this. I'm too busy enjoying this to actually make sense of my thoughts. That's seriously, you got to try this. Wow. All right. Well, there you go. That is everything you need to make the best chicken tomato soup I'm telling you you've ever had. No joke. All right. Any cues before we sign off here? Otherwise, we are hitting it because I want to eat this. All right. I'm eating this.